there, my name is Megan and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I have a book haul for y'all. I don't know the last time that I did a book haul. I think this might be the first one that I've done for 2025 other than like my holiday Christmas book haul. So I think I have 11 books to share with you guys. I have some new books, some used books, some classic special editions that I'm really excited to show you because they're absolutely beautiful. It's kind of an eclectic mix, a lot of different things. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in to go through all of the books that I've gotten so far this year in 2025. The first book I'm going to share with you is actually a book that has been recommended to me on my channel many times as like a staple in the post-apocalyptic genre, and that is 1 Second After by William R. Forstchen. This is an author that I know the name, but I've never read any of his work. This is the first book in a series, I believe, and it follows a man who lives in North Carolina in the United States and his struggle to survive and to provide for his family after America is thrown back into the dark ages. Apparently, there was an enemy attack that utilized EMPs. From my understanding, EMPs basically obliterate any electronic devices or electronic capabilities. So you can imagine in our current world where so much depends on the internet and everything like that, that type of attack would be completely detrimental. So I'm excited to read this book because it's just been recommended to me so many times and I haven't read a good post-apocalyptic story in a while. Next is The Inmate by Frida McFadden. This is an adult thriller. I've already read and reviewed this book, but in The Inmate, we are following Brooke, and when she was 17 years old, her boyfriend tried to murder her, but she actually never saw his face. She just assumed it was him, and her testimony actually helped put him away in prison. 10 years later, she moves back home and gets a job working at the prison where her ex-boyfriend Shane is currently serving a life sentence for murder/attempted murder. But as Brooke starts to relive the events that happened that night, she starts to question if her memories are actually correct and if Shane was actually the one to try and kill her. So I will link my review down in the description box below if you are interested in checking it out. Then we have The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. My friend Andre sent me this book. This is Abercrombie's newest published work, and it is a new story separate from his first law world. But in this book, we're following a whole new cast of misfit characters, and they have been tasked with escorting a long-lost princess to a neighboring kingdom so that she can usurp the current government there, her two cousins, and take over the throne. As always, this will only benefit the people who are sending her. But she grew up on the streets and is definitely not very princess-like. And the people that are escorting her, like I said, are all misfits. We have a cowardly monk, we have a vampire, we have a necromantic mage, we have an elf, and the elves and the humans do not get along in this world. They're constantly fighting, they don't trust each other. So we are following their journey, which is super dangerous. And as always, people are out to kill him and kill this long-lost princess. So this is on my June TBR. I am currently reading this and quite enjoying it. And it's definitely a little bit different than the stories that I know Abercrombie to write, but it still includes his humor and those grimdark elements that I've come to associate with his writing. Next, I have Heavenbreaker by Sarah Wolf. This is a YA sci-fi, but I think it's got some fantastical elements in it. I don't think it's super heavy sci-fi. This book was recommended to me and I purchased it with the intent to read it in April and just some things came up and I just was not able to read it. So this is a book I want to prioritize in the second half of the year. From my understanding, this is definitely a revenge story. We are following the bastard daughter, a duke that wanted to see her and her mother dead, and her whole journey is spent trying to kill everybody in this duke's household and get her revenge for what was done to her and her mother. And to do that, she needs to learn how to ride a machine known as Heavenbreaker, which from my understanding enters these competitions that are kind of like jousting. Our main character enters all of these jousting competitions with these nobles intent on killing them, but she starts to realize that there's more to this machine, Heavenbreaker, than she realized. There's something, I guess, residing in the machine. I don't know if it's life, organic life, or AI, or who knows. And she starts to realize that there's more to this whole situation than she originally thought. It sounds like a really unique story, kind of combining some, I guess, medieval elements, fantasy elements with sci-fi. So I'm actually intrigued to get to this one. Hey guys, if you are enjoying this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well as giving this video a like to throw my channel a little bit of support. Also, I'm the author of the book Aftermath, which is an adult sci-fi novel that I published in 2024. I'm going to go ahead and link it in the description box as well as in the cards if you're interested in checking it out. Thank you so much for your support. Next, we have Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This is her newest series, and in this book, we're following an orphan named Cal, and he is the sword catcher. He actually works as the royal heir's double because he looks so much like him, and the two of them have a really good relationship. I think the boy's name is Connor, Prince Connor, and he is destined to be king, but Cal and Connor develop a really good brotherly type relationship. And then we're following a girl named Lynn who has these magical abilities, and I think magic in this world is kind of quarantined, and she's allowed to leave the city limits because she is able to heal people. Somehow, her path crosses with Cal, and they get involved with the criminal mastermind of this world, who is known as the Rag Picker. And when they get involved with this criminal mastermind, secrets start coming to light about the royal heir, the palace, and all the things that have to do with court and political intrigue. I've heard that this book is actually a lot different than Cassandra Clare's other works, and that it is way more intricate plot-wise, which is what prompted me to pick it up. And then I also picked up the Rag Picker King, which is the next book in the series. I don't know if this is a duology or if it's going to be more than 2 books. I probably should have looked that up. But when I saw that they had the sequel, I just went ahead and grabbed it. And then I had a free book credit for thriftbooks.com, so I decided to pick up The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. I have actually read this book, and it's been several years, so I really don't remember everything that went on in the plot. I do remember enjoying it quite a bit, and I feel like this book isn't talked about at all. Only Stephanie Meyer's Twilight, series is discussed, and this is an adult book, and it has to do with a woman who worked for the US government. She's kind of like a spy, and she somehow gets involved with the wrong people or the wrong information. She has a target on her back, and people are coming after her, and she has to get involved with her ex-handler in order to get out of it and figure out who's coming after her and why. And she's constantly on the run from these people and trying to defend herself while uncovering all of these secrets. So if you like spy novels or you like any type of chase novels or stories, this is actually a really, really good book for that. I do remember enjoying it quite a bit. I remember not enjoying the love or the romance plot, but that's not the main plot of the book. It's definitely the main character and her having to outwit the bad guy and using her chemistry skills. And I'm excited to actually read it again. So the next books are all new books, but they are special edition classics. And I was at the mall one day with my husband, and they opened up a Barnes & Noble inside the mall where I live. The new location is a lot smaller, but at least I have a Barnes & Noble close to me now. And we have been collecting the Barnes & Noble special edition classics anthologies for a while now. I think we have 8 or 9, maybe 10 of them. So every time we see one that we like, we get it because they're absolutely beautiful editions. They're on my downstairs bookshelf, and they look gorgeous. So I'm going to get some close-up video for you guys for each one. The first book I have to share with y'all is The Silmarillion by J.R.R. Tolkien. I got these special matching editions of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit for Christmas. So when we saw this one, my husband decided to get it. So I'll link that book haul up down in the description box if you want to see the other books that go with this set. But it's got the map on the inside when you open it up. We have our bookmark, and I think there's a map in the back. We have the sprayed edges, and then I think in a couple of them there were pictures. I don't know if this one has it. It doesn't, but they're still really pretty editions, and I have been waiting forever for a edition, like a special edition of The Lord of the Rings that I really found beautiful and liked and wanted to buy. So it's been several years, and I finally splurged in December when I found one that I liked. So I'm glad that this one goes with it. And then the next classic book that we got is King Arthur and His Knights by Howard Pyle. I am so excited to read this. I think it is so pretty. I love the purple and the gold. We have what looks like Excalibur. I just think it's beautiful. Sprayed edges again. And then Barnes & Noble really puts these pretty end pages in their classic books. And then when I was flipping through it, they do have illustrations that are colored. So I'm just really, really excited to read this. I just think it's really pretty. And in the same vein, we picked up The Call of the Wild by Jack London. My husband actually picked this out. I've actually never read a Jack London book before. I've read some of his short stories, but I really like the cover. The spine and the back. The sprayed edges. End pages. It's actually a lot shorter than I thought it was, page count wise. And flipping through it, we have illustrations. I love that so much. So that is The Call of the Wild. And then for my anthologies, these are the ones that we have a lot of them. And they're kind of heavy, so I'll try and hold it up. But the first one is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Stories by Lewis Carroll. And the reason that I like these is because they usually have like the main books that the author wrote, but then it has a bunch of other works that are less popular all in one set. I really love the cover on this. It just screams Alice in Wonderland vibes. This is a huge book, by the way. So, and the back, we have the Tea Party, sprayed edges. Okay, and then the end pages. All right, let's see what I can do here. Illustrations. And then I wanted to show you like all of the different extra stories that it has in here. And I know that Lewis Carroll is known for a lot of his poems that just aren't talked about much. So I'm excited to have that. And then lastly, we have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and there's some other works in here too. So very, very Art Deco cover. Spine. Back. Sprayed edges. End pages. Okay, so the stories that are in here. So in addition to The Great Gatsby, we also have This Side of Paradise and The Beautiful and the Damned. I have not read either one of those. I've only ever read The Great Gatsby by this author. So I'm really excited to have just that collection, those works of his in one book. So those are the special classic editions that I've gotten, and I'm in love with all of them. Okay, you guys, that is it for my book haul. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, or if you found any of these particular books interesting or something you want to read. I love hearing and reading y'all's comments. So once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in another video soon. Goodbye.